Welcome back to Top 5 Auto Repairs. Today's topic, I'm going to tell you guys how do you know you have a bad engine and it's time to rebuild it. The first sign that you know that your engine life is coming to an end is your engine is burning lots of engine oil and is blowing blue smoke out of the exhaust. If you have lack of power and you notice a decrease in engine performance and it feels like your vehicle have a hard time taking off, and overall it feels like you just generally have no power, and if you notice blue smoke is coming out of the exhaust and you're burning lots of engine oil, for example, it's burning about a quart a week, that's because the cylinder walls on the engine block are worn. If the cylinder walls are worn, there's a very high chance that the piston rings are also worn. So basically you have the compression rings and the oil rings, and when the ring fell, it's going to allow oil to seep inside the combustion chamber, and that's how it burns a lot of engine oil, and again, blue smoke is going to come out of your exhaust. The next sign that you know that your engine life is coming to an end is rod knock. When your engine is running and you hear this noise, that's basically rod knock. Rod knock occurs when the rod bearings on the pistons are worn, and it also occurs when the main bearings on the crankshaft journals are worn as well. In addition, rod knock can also occur when the cylinder walls or the piston head itself are completely worn. So when the cylinder walls are completely worn or the piston head are worn, there'll be too much clearance between the cylinder wall and the piston head, and when the piston is traveling up and down, it's going to knock against the cylinder wall, and you're going to notice piston slap. When you start your vehicle at cold start and you hear that knocking noise, and as your engine warms up and that knocking noise goes away, then you know that the cylinder walls and piston are worn. The reason why that piston slap noise goes away is because when the cylinder walls and piston head are worn, and at cold start, there's more clearance between the cylinder wall and piston. And when the engine warms up, metals start to expand, and the clearance between the cylinder wall and the piston start to diminish, and there's going to be a tighter fit, and the noise may gradually go away. The reason why it is called piston slap is because the piston head slaps against the cylinder wall at cold start. So again, when the engine warms up and the piston slap noise gradually goes away, that's how you know your engine is failing, and eventually you're going to have to rebuild it. When there's problem on the lower end of the engine, especially the engine block, usually you have to rebuild your engine. This involves using an oversized piston, changing the piston rings, you have to bore out the cylinder wall, you have to put new sleeves in, and then you have to resurface the surface of the engine block, and then also you have to resurface the crankshaft as well. And of course, you're going to have to use a different size rod bearing and main bearing. When you have a problem on the lower end of the engine block, you have to remove your engine so you can work on the engine block. However, if you have an issue on the top end of your engine, such as a bad cylinder head, you do not need to remove your engine. There are a lot of reasons why the cylinder head might require work. For example, you can have a blown head gasket and you'll notice engine oil and coolant mixing together. And when the engine oil and coolant mix together, you're going to notice white smoke coming out of your tailpipe. You're also going to notice poor engine performance. You're going to notice low compression. You're going to notice your engine may not even start at all. The next reason why your cylinder head might require work is because maybe you have valve issue. For example, you can have a burnt valve, you can have broken valve, you can have bad valve seat, you can have bad valve seal, you can have bad valve spring. When you have bad valves, you're going to notice low compression, poor engine performance, you're going to have an engine misfire, you may notice hard start, you may notice your engine barely running, and you may also notice weird noise or odd noise coming from the cylinder head area. The next reason why your engine may require work is because maybe you have bad valve train. For example, the valve train consists of multiple components that helps control the opening and closing of the valves. So the valve train consists of the overhead camshaft, it consists of the lifters, it consists of the valve spring, it consists of a push rod, and so on. When there's a problem with the valve train, you're going to notice noise. For example, you're going to notice ticking noise, clicking noise, clacking noise, and so on. In addition, if your valve train becomes extremely bad and worn out, the valves may not open and close all the way. And again, you're going to notice low compression, hard starts, poor engine performance, engine misfire, and so on. When there's a problem on the top part of the cylinder head, most likely you do not have to remove the cylinder head. However, if you have a blown head gasket, you do have to remove the cylinder head. And if one of your valves breaks off, you do have to remove the cylinder head and replace the valve. And if the valve breaks off and it causes damage to the piston head or it causes damage to the cylinder wall, you have to pull out your engine and rebuild your engine and fix that cylinder wall. I hope you found this video useful. As always, thank you for watching and subscribe to Top 5 Auto Repairs.